Welcome, welcome. I'm Canute White, and you're listening. For those of you on YouTube, Facebook stream, live stream, you're viewing Canute Exploration, your topic in a podcast. I am Canute White, your host. We are on all your favorites podcast platform, and you can see this continuously on YouTube because it will be posted there, right? No live on Facebook, and you're here to respond, to comment, and remember when you go to your platform, your favorite podcast platform, and on YouTube, rate, comment, and subscribe. It's very important, and you may support us um, by just sending us an email, wradio, that's wradio668 at gmail.com, wradio668 at gmail.com, and we will tell you how you can support us monthly, or as you know you're able to do, because we are streaming. Well, Canute Exploration, your topic in a podcast, continue to discuss topics that interest you. It could be psychology, education, it could be anything that we know will interest you. We have subscribers from all over the world. Spain, I'm seeing Ukraine, um, um, the United Kingdom, I'm seeing Canada and Jamaica, and you realize I'm Jamaican, right? I'm in the United States though. You will see the United States, right? So guys, I want you to subscribe, rate, and comment. Right? Find us where you listen to your podcast. Find us on YouTube. Look, Canute Exploration, your topic in a podcast. We'll be discussing a very interesting topic today. Interesting because it will come into the limelight now and it goes away eventually. So I think it's a perennial. It's basically a topic that it would come up, and then it goes again somewhere in the dark, and till either a mass shooting happens, as those shootings that happened in the United States, the the shooting in the high schools and so on, right? Until somebody of status mention that they are having challenges, or we're having challenges as it relates to the topic. Mental illnesses, mental health challenges. Hey, it's a topic that we tend to see as the elephant in the room, but we need to look at it. We need to have conversations about mental health, mental illnesses, not for just one day, but we need to have this conversation every day, if you may ask me, right? Because rare people suffer from mental challenges. Rare people. I mean, are we not thinking? Do we have brains? Yes, we do. So it's a rhetorical question. And because we interface with the environment, right? Because we're responding to stimuli around us, we will have challenges, mental health challenges. Look, I have a master's in psychology, a master's of science in psychology, counseling psychology to be exact. I have had a practice in Jamaica for many years, over 15 years. I have been in this business of counseling and psychology for a long while. I've seen mental challenges, naturally. I have lectured in psychology at the university level for years. So I am not talking to you as someone who have not seen it, someone who doesn't know about it. Yeah, I do. I know about it, right? And I want to bring it to the forefront in this series on Canute Exploration, your topic in the podcast, right? This series on mental health, mental illnesses, right? Today we'll be looking at removing the stigmas. But because this is our first series on this whole mental health, first episode, right? And this whole in this whole mental illness series. We want to look at what is mental health, what is mental illness. It's something that I'd like to look at this point before we continue. The Maya Clinic define mental illness, also called mental health disorders, right? And a wide range of mental health conditions. Disorders that affect your mood, your thinking, and behavior. Examples, you know them. Depression, that's a very prevalent one. Schizophrenia. You have eating disorders. Yeah, not well. I guess it's prevalent, but not too noticed, so to speak, right? And addictive disorders, substance disorder, and so on, right? You also have a thing we call sexual disorder, right? So mental illness is there. It's broad. It's really broad. It's it's really something that you will have to understand. It's going to be a challenge, right? Guys, mental illness is something that needs to be looked at seriously, very seriously, right? So guess what happened? Oh, we're going to do this. We're going to break, right, and come back again, right, in about 2 or 3 segments, more likely 2 segments, right? Um, but what I want to consider now, and I want you to consider, is that definition of mental health, mental illness. You're listening to Canute Exploration, your topic in a podcast. I'm Canute White. Look, guys, you must have been depressed one point in your life. Must have felt like, hey, I am stressed. There are stresses around me. I just can't deal with these challenges right now. Guys, if you have not, I'm not saying you're not human, but if you have not, wow, I'm not sure where you live, especially in this time of the COVID-19 pandemic. It's something you need to consider. Depression is prevalent, stress is prevalent, mental illnesses during the COVID-19 situation has gone up. I cannot give you statistics at this point, but naturally, people are home, people are lonely, people are getting depressed, right? people are becoming unemployed more than, more numbers. The unemployment rate in globally have increased because of the pandemic, right? People are not able to see their loved ones, elderly parents, um, children are not able to see. That's depressing. So you know that mental challenges are going to explode tremendously. So this thing about mental illness, anxiety, this anxiety disorder challenges, right? This whole thing that will trigger increased heartbeat, right? That will create this sort of a sweat that is not. You might become weak, shaky, dizzy, right? These things that are symptoms of anxiety will be created through this pandemic. So we are gonna get mentally ill. Schizophrenia is a very serious thing too. We'll do an episode on that eventually, right? But schizophrenia is a very serious thing. Many of the back on the island, they would say madman. Many of the street people are not schizophrenic, but they are just on the street. But many of them are schizophrenic, and you're going to say a madman. That's what you usually call them. We call them on the street, but they are schizophrenic, and it's something that is triggered by mental challenges that they're having. So look, I tell you this: you can be here now, mentally well, and tomorrow you become schizophrenic. Tomorrow you have a challenge mentally, right? A mental challenge. You just never know. So it's all about removing the stigma, guys. Removing the stigma. And in removing the stigma of mental illness, we have to recognize that you can become mentally ill anytime, just like that. I've seen it happen. I've had a friend who today she was okay, a co-worker. And when I went back to work the following morning, she was schizophrenic. She was running all over the place. Everybody's trying to get her. That's a category of schizophrenia that we need to talk about eventually, right? She was running, literally running from her own daughter. Literally thinking that her daughter would hurt her. Just like that. I wasn't surprised. I was trained in psychology and abnormal psychology and this whole thing about mental disorder. So I understood. But there were many persons around us that morning that did not understand what was going on with her. Right? So let's take a short break, and we'll return with more of this mental challenges and removing the stigma. Um, see you